Ashidelek, and welcome to Wednesdays with Rinpoche. So today we are here, and in our Tibetan community, as always, today is a Wednesday, so we actually celebrate this pure Wednesday by saying Pakar Sang. And in our community, we are still actually celebrating Tibetan Losar, and actually today is sixth day of the Losar. People are still celebrating. The camp or the community where I am staying, actually we have 4 days of a kind of neighbor Losar celebration party, and then 2 days of the whole community sort of like a gathering and party. So everybody is still enjoying, and we had a good gathering and good food and a lot of happiness. Okay, so today our discussion on this Wednesday, I actually posted one in the Facebook, one quote from Buddha: "There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way." So I always think that this is a wonderful and profound message. Just kind of, if you look at this word, it's a very simple. It's a simple kind of like a very simply worded, like there is no way to happiness. And I don't know what are you getting the meaning, because somehow when we actually when we are searching for happiness, we always think that happiness is something out there, and then always sort of like doing things. Sort of we think that there must be some way, or there must be some sort of like a way to become happy, and so with that kind of thinking, we always search for happiness kind of like outwardly. So thinking that I will be happy when I have this, when I have that. So somewhere we are always looking at the happiness with this future tense, right? It's just kind of, we never look that happiness is actually right here in the present moment with ourselves. So it is just kind of like when we actually think of happiness, we always think that happiness is somewhere in the future, that we have to do something, right? We have to kind of like create, or we have to construct happiness. And so we are always looking some kind of a method or way to be happy. So kind of like if you really think carefully what Buddha Shakyamuni was saying, there is no way to happiness. And then right after that word, then it says happiness is the way, right? Happiness is the way. Because kind of like we apply this philosophy in our search for happiness, that we think that kind of this philosophy, no pain, no gain, right? So somehow we think that happiness is some kind of like a gain, some kind of like a reward, some kind of like a award, or some kind of like a achievement, right? So like as long as we think that it is something to gain, then kind of like we kind of like immediately what we think is, oh, to be able to gain happiness, then I have to lose something, or I have to sort of like, what do you call, I have to go through some pain. And then we actually choose pain or suffering as a way towards the happiness. So that is why kind of like this is a very profound message, because this is actually like when we are searching for happiness, so like it is not some, happiness is not some kind of like a property of Buddhism. It is like as long as we are sentient being, somehow we all sentient beings are always searching for happiness, right? This is kind of like it is like our like a right. It's I can say it's our birthright to be happy, right? Happiness is kind of our rights. We all, each and every sentient beings in this whole universe, I think we deserve to be happy. And so that is why kind of like if we really contemplate on this message, what Buddha was saying, actually it sums up, it is a very, what do you call, it is a very profound, it's kind of profound message that is kind of like hidden in these two lines. It's like there is no way to happiness. Happiness itself is the way. Happiness is the way. Happiness itself is the way. So somehow, like happiness, to be happy, somehow the path, or just kind of like there is actually a no path or no way. So somehow we should not separate the way to happiness and happiness, because happiness itself is the way to happiness, right? So somehow like kind of like if we actually look, interestingly, I kind of when I was looking at this word happiness, what do you see? Just kind of think of that. You know, just kind of like everybody knows how to spell happiness, right? So there's like happiness, H-A-P-P. And then in the middle, what is there? I, right? And then N-E-S-S, happiness. So if you look at the happiness, even if the word happiness, just kind of like let's play with the word, right? So even in the word happiness, I don't know, maybe this is not intentionally put by the person who ever made this spelling, right? So somehow I is in the middle of happiness. What do you think? So this I is like somehow I was kind of looking at that, and it is interesting because the way we write, we call it like in Sanskrit, like a ah. So there is a big ah and small ah, right? Ah, right? So when it is like a ah, like it is actually atung Tibetan. Actually, in Tibetan we say atung sheke nambache, which means actually ah is one line, and then there is a dot on the top of it. So that is A. And so somehow that A on the top of the, like on the top of that line, there is a one dot, and that dot somehow, it's kind of like, if we talk it from a highest yoga tantra point of view, then there is a lot of meaning there. Because there is one line, and then there is that is kind of like we call it like a drop, right? A drop, or like a nada, sort of like a on drop, and then actually when you put the drop, it is a circle. So circle actually goes up with this one, like a kind of like a dissolving into emptiness. So somehow this when I look at that word happiness, like there's an I in the middle. So why there is an I in the middle? That actually give me some sort of like a message there. The message that I got was that, it is happiness, like we are actually looking. So happiness is actually within us, within ourselves. Happiness is within ourselves. It is like don't look for happiness outside. Happiness, if you want to look for happiness, the middle, the center of that is you have to look within yourself. Within yourself. And that is like sometime, in the symbolic, like, there is like when we meditate in the like a central channel. So there's like that like a line and then drop, and so it's kind of like so there is like a I in the middle. So which that actually shows is that happiness is actually not outside of ourselves. Happiness is actually within ourselves. So that is why it is kind of like when we are actually searching for happiness, then we have to connect with that ultimately it has to go inward. It has to go inward, not outward. Inward. If we go inward, when we are totally connected with that, true self, then somehow that one self actually is not separated from universe. So somehow that is actually your true self is not just one kind of like a one phenomena that is separated from the whole universe. Actually, it is not separated from the whole universe. Actually, that is the whole universe. That is the whole universe. Somehow, it is kind of my true self, your true self, every sentient being's true self. Somehow, we are all connected to that. We are all connected to that. That is the source of somehow when Buddha was actually teaching on the emptiness, right? Emptiness is the ultimate truth is the truth, which is where one taste, rochipa. So when you connect with there, that is like how we can go is when we stop searching for happiness outwardly, if we actually start looking inward and realize that we are, we are actually born with the happiness, and without even noticing or without even knowing that we are actually born with that happiness, somehow we kind of like we have a lack of courage, and we have a lack of confidence, and we start looking at ourselves and putting ourselves down by saying, no, I don't have that. Happiness should be somewhere out there. And then we are always looking, right? We are always looking, maybe someone else, somebody else will make me happy. And so happiness should be coming from some sort of like a material gain, or some kind of pleasing someone, or kind of like by kind of getting many things, right? That is sort of like our mentality. We always, like our mind always think that, like when we are always thinking about happiness, we are always thinking that I will be happy, right? It is just like I will be happy. So then if if you actually put that, I will be happy when what? When I get this, or when I don't have this, or like sort of like we kind of put a lot of condition to that. So that is why it is kind of like a very profound, simple word to actually contemplate. And that is why I just put it there today. So kind of like just think about that, the meaning, the message from the Buddha, saying that there is no way to happiness, and happiness itself is the way, right? All right, anyway, so today, just kind of like I came here on the Wednesday, and somehow, so this Wednesdays, so we have been actually doing this Wednesday talk, and so kind of like sometime, I wanted to sort of like don't want to make people think that this is kind of like some sort of like a schedule or something that we always have to, or something like that. So so from the beginning, I always say that this is just a casual Wednesday gathering, and so due to this pandemic situation, somehow we are all sort of like stuck and lockdown situation that many of us really cannot connect on a person-to-person level. So we actually kind of like use this medium like a digital platform, and like social media such as like Facebook, and so kind of like we are gathered here, and so I'm just kind of like whatever kind of like things that I learn from the teaching of the Buddha, then we are just kind of casually kind of sharing and kind of learning. So so today we actually talk about this, and then I put this there, like there is no way to happiness. Happiness itself is the way. So that is a profound message, and that is like it's a common sense. I think this is a common sense. It is to be happy. Like I personally don't believe that you have to be a religious person, or you have to have some sort of like a philosophy. You have to kind of like follow some religion or anything. So I just kind of, that is my personal belief. So just kind of like whether we are believer, non-believer, or whatever, as long as we are human being or sentient being, then happiness is our right. And somehow nobody actually taught us to look for happiness, but it is instinct, like somehow instinctively we are actually searching. Whatever we are doing, somehow we are doing this thinking that, oh, this, if I do this, maybe this will make me happy. If I do that, that will make me happy. So somehow in the back of all our kind of doing, or kind of whatever we are doing, whatever we are kind of whatever situation we are, somehow it is somehow motivated by this intention, right? This intention to be happy. So willing to be happy is something that we all have, and so that is also Nobody taught us. And why do we have that? Is because somewhere deep inside we know that we are carrying this precious happiness nature in us. So so that is why when Buddha said there is no way to happiness, happiness itself is the way. So just think of that meaning, and it will give you some special insight. So, okay, all right. Okay, anyway, so we have tonight during this our gathering, so our usual friends who are gathered here on this Facebook live stream. So I see John Gossett saying Tashidelek John, and then Luen Beringer, Tashidelek Luen, and then David Kumito, Tashidelek Dear Rinpoche from David and Kayla, Tashidelek, Mary K. Moses, Tashidelek, Andrew Wall, Tashidelek, Zephi, Tashidelek, Tsering Lingsa Tsang, Tashidelek, Losa Tashidelek, and Kathy Hodge, Tashidelek, and Jamian Romala, Tashidelek, Karmatsurimla, Tashidelek, Jitka Marigold, Tashidelek, Joy Bond. I appreciate what you're saying and believe you finding happiness within is easier said than done. I'm trying. Yes, Tashidelek, Joy. And then Maman Tembela, great lecture. I will appreciate your Rinpoche. Tashidelek, Maman Tembela, Losar Tashidelek. And then Ninju Kumaran, Tashidelek and Pranam. So I see your message here. Heartfelt gratitude for this profound teaching that the path and the way are the same material. You have given us great blessing of positivity, hope, joy, courage regarding the spiritual journey inward. Thank you, Master, for freeing us from no pain, no gain, reassuring us that happiness is our innate, beginningless birthright. You also have quoted the Buddha before. Want to see your past? Just look at your present. Like begets like. Jai Gurudev. Pranam, Ninju, Tashidelek, thank you. And then Mary Milam, Tashidelek, thank you for this weekly connection. Do you have any updates on Nunnery project in Tibet? Working on, yes, we are working on that project, and so hopefully soon we will put that in the Emaho website. All right. Janet Campbell, Tashidelek. Melissa Smith, Tashidelek. Lunshan Su, Tashidelek. Miho Sang, Tashidelek. Regula and Ernie, Tashidelek. Thank you very much. You are welcome. Nudai Araiva, Tashidelek and Happy Losar. Tashidelek and Happy Losar to you too. Alex Nodin, that's a beautiful heap of kapse on the altar, Losar, Tashidelek. Yes, so that is Tibetan actually. If you really see, like a Tibetan say, Pungu Amjo. So nothing impressive about the label. For the label, we say Pungu Amjo, ears of donkey. So I don't know. So why we actually make ears of donkey on the altar, but somehow, I don't know if that is really looks like ears of donkey. Maybe originally, I don't know how it came about in the Tibetan culture. So there should be some story behind that, and it is interesting that one time in Arizona, then me and my sister, we are celebrating the Losar, and we wanted to put Pungu Amjo, the kind of like a decoration to make a, offering on the altar. But, we both don't know how to make this kapse. So it takes some kind of talent to make that kapse, all right? And then we went to the grocery store, and then I saw like this bread, like a bread, like a long bread. I think it's like a French bread, long bread. So, we bought a bunch of them and put it on the altar, like how like a Tibetan put the kapse, and then, kind of like it looks like kapse, but actually it's a French bread that we bought from regular American grocery store. So anyway, that's another kind of funny story. So then, yes, Alex, so maybe you have visited some Tibetan home, right? So they have a kapse like this. So every Tibetan home, we actually put a lot of, kind of offering there, right? All right, so then Nyudai Araiva, thank you for the reminder that happiness is within us. Yes, I think I thank Buddha Shakyamuni for, letting us know that, happiness is happiness itself is the way. So somehow, kind of like we kind of like, be happy as much as we can, right? It is kind of like, sometimes we have to actually think that, why we put happiness in the future. So just kind of learning, if happiness is the way, then, if we ask ourselves that, do I want to be happy? I think our answer is, of course, I want to be happy, right? And then just kind of like, will I be happy? And then like optimistically or positively, I think it is the right answer to say yes, I will be happy, right? It is so it is kind of like, it is not just kind of like some kind of false hope, kind of thinking that I will be happy, but it is kind of like if it is a yes, I will be happy, and then just kind of right after that, when will I be happy? So when will I be happy? So that when is actually talking about the time. And then, don't think that, because sometimes in the word, when will I be happy, right? It is just kind of, we always, even that one, when we put that question, we are also putting happiness into the future, right? So it is like, if we actually put ourselves, can I be happy? Can I be happy? So it is kind of like this question we ask to ourselves. We ask this question to ourselves, can I be happy? And just kind of we should actually learn to say, yes, I can be happy. Yes, I can be happy. And then if you want to actually bring it more closer, then can I be happy right now? See, now that is a very kind of like a very deep question, right? Can I be happy right now? And then lots of the story and our ego and all this like past experience and the present situation is making us, right? It will force us to say, no, I cannot be happy right now. And then it's just like always kind of why? Why can't I be happy right now? So maybe, all the answer that is coming from why can I be happy right now, then, all this answer that comes in our mind, maybe this is all false. So that is all false. So it is like this like a falsity. So everything is false. It is not true. So if we actually kind of carried away by this reason, why can't I be happy? Then it is kind of like we will fall back. We will fall back into being in suffering. Like, right? Because if we actually ask this question, why can't I be happy? Then I think there will be millions of reasons why can I be happy. Because so and so, because if you look at all this answer, it is deep inside. Behind this answer, I think there's no base. It is just kind of like it is all something that made up. It is something that made up. It is just kind of like so somehow I cannot be happy because of this. I cannot be happy because of that. And then what we are doing is we are putting ourselves away from being happy. So it's just kind of like just for one moment, just say, I can be happy right now. Right? Just say that. Even just say it and see how do you feel about it. I can be happy right now. And all the reason that why I cannot be happy is just all false. I can be happy. And then, just kind of like if you actually dwell in that present moment, that I can be happy right now. And see, that is where we need to actually, it's just kind of like, there will be a lot of challenge. Yes, there will be a lot of challenge. This from every different angle, right? From 10 directions, from east, from west, from north, from south, and 4 corners, from upside, from down, it is kind of like a challenge, right? It's a challenge. Like sometimes when I look at this image of Buddha Shakyamuni, at the moment when he was becoming enlightened, there was demons surrounded, throwing all different sorts of weapons, right? So this maybe just a metaphor, but it is just kind of like if we sit just down and then ask this, can I be happy right now? And I think all these demons will come, right? All these demons, this challenge is telling you, from every different corner and direction, everything, the whole existence will, come and say, no, you cannot be happy. No, you cannot be happy right now. And so this voice coming actually from our own mind, right? It's coming from our own mind. And so this, so many voices that is actually coming and telling us, saying that you cannot be happy right now. And sadly, we believe it. We believe that, one challenger say you cannot be happy right now, and somehow we say, yeah, you are right, I cannot be happy. And then, so it's just kind of everywhere. It is telling us you cannot be happy, you cannot be happy. And so we have to stand, take a stand for yourself. Taking stand for yourself. So instead of listening to this whole thing from the outside, what is your answer? What is your answer from deep inside? that yourself, that from yourself, if you look at from that self, then, this voice that is coming from deep inside, if you listen, so that is the meditation. When you actually kind of stop listening to the whole challenges and you just simply listen to what truly you are saying from your deep voice, your inner voice. And that inner voice has been screaming, saying, yes, 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 you can be happy right now, you can be happy. Yes, I can be happy, I can be happy. But somewhere, because of the outside, voices are so loud that we don't hear. We don't hear this, even we are screaming from deep inside saying, yes, and we are not listening. We are not listening to this real true self that is actually saying, yes, you can be happy. Right? So, that is kind of like we should learn, right? We should learn how to listen to our inner voice. That is not the voice that is not coming from your mind. Don't listen to the mind, because the mind tells you so many things, like there are like thousands of mind. One is telling you this, do this, one is telling you do that, do this, do this. So only thing what we need to listen is we need to listen to what your true inner self, that who wants to be happy and who knows that you are actually, like you are actually inside, from inside, it is saying that don't look for happiness somewhere else. You are actually sitting on the happiness. You are on the happiness. You are. So another word for that is when Buddha said we have Buddha nature. So that nature is happiness, I think, right? Anyway, so today, with this, without taking further time, I wanted to stop here. It's all right? Okay, so everybody, stay safe and be happy. Right? I like when there is a song, right? A reggae song. Don't worry, be happy. It's also interesting word, right? Don't worry. Don't make yourself unhappy. Be happy, because that is what we are here for. All right, and wish that happiness, and wish that all sentient beings throughout the universe, may we find that, and may we stop searching for happiness from outside. Just kind of may we actually be happy, be happy right now, right at this moment, into the present moment, and so that is my prayer. And all right, thank you all very much. Okay, so that is our talk for tonight. All right, and so I will just give you a glimpse of our Losar. All right, so good night from India.